Hi guys, how are you? I am coming to you au naturel because I want to show you the most amazing foundation I have ever used, and that is our Perfect Foundation. This foundation is a wax-based foundation. It is vegan, it is paraben-free, it is cruelty-free, it is tree nut-free, and it has 50% pigment. So the coverage is ridiculously insane. So I am going to show you guys how I use it. I know not a lot of people are used to a wax-based foundation. There's not a lot out there on the market. So basically, RCMA makes our foundation. RCMA has had the leading foundation in the industry for decades. Basically, they make our foundation, but they use the Lime Life by Alcone formula. So our formula is different, but RCMA does make it. So I am going to dive in and show you guys. So basically, you can see my skin's a little bit funky right now. I've got some breakout going on. I've got broken capillaries. I've got a little bit of hyperpigmentation, which thanks to our One Drop Wonder and Sotox has faded so much already. And I've just been using it for about 8 months. So super excited about that. But this is perfect. I thought I would come on now because this is a great way to show you guys how the coverage works with this product. So basically what I do is I take a spatula. You can take the back of your brush, any brush, and just scrape some out. You need such a tiny amount of this. So basically, because it's a wax-based foundation, what this does is melts down with warmth of the skin. So I always find it's really important to work it on your hand first until it becomes a bit of a liquid before applying it. This makes it so much easier to apply, and it also prevents you from overusing the product. So I just scrape out a little bit. If I need more, I just scrape out some more and apply it that way. So it works out good. So there we go. You can see it's gone from a wax and it's really creamy now because it's melted with the warmth of my hand. So I am going to start primer, first base primer. I think primers are super important. They help if you're somebody that's quite oily and you struggle with holding your makeup. This is important if you're somebody that's quite dry and you find that your makeup kind of sticks to the patches of your dry skin. This is also important. So ours is a spray. It is beautiful. It smells amazing. And it just sets your skin perfectly and helps to fill in the fine lines in the pores before applying your foundation. So I'm a huge fan. I love this primer. And I actually, that's not true. I did work with the Skindinavia primer. So I did previously work with a spray primer rather than like a silicone. So I just take this super solid foundation brush, and all I do, pull my hair back a little bit here, is you just work it in circular motions. It is, you guys, this foundation literally takes 5 seconds to apply. It is so quick. I absolutely love it. And you can see already, actually, I'm not going to get too carried away, but you see how that sunspot that I had there has already disappeared, and I've hardly put any effort into applying this. So I'm going to put it down here. I'll do half of my face first just so you guys can see it. But what you're going to notice is I'm going to look quite washed out. That is what happens with 50% coverage. It is literally giving me a blank canvas to work with, which I love. And that's the important part. I'm going to show you guys once I apply my foundation, the important part of going back in with a bit of contour and highlight, and then of course bronzer and blush, just to bring life back into the face. I take this right down my neck. I do have some hormonal breakout down my neck as well. So I do like to cover that up, but I'm going to show you guys before I get too crazy and carried away. Oh, it's so easy to apply, you guys. I love working with this product. And that's another thing, actually, I want to let you know is when you work with this wax-based foundation, you don't get a change in color. This product does not oxidize. So you know how you go to wherever, get a liquid foundation, and throughout the day you notice all of a sudden you're looking kind of orange or you're looking super discolored? That's oxidization. That's what can often happen with a liquid foundation. But with a wax foundation, like our Perfect Foundation, it stays true to color all day. So it does not oxidize. It does not change, which is incredible. But you guys can see how quickly I put that on. I'm just going to look in my mirror and make sure I'm all evenly applied. But look at the difference. Can you see how flawless my skin looks compared to what it was? And then you can see on that side, it's removed all my redness that you can see around the nose. My broken capillaries are now hidden. It is incredible. I love working with this product. I absolutely love it. And another bonus with a wax-based foundation, especially for our teens that tend to break out, is it sits on the surface of the skin. Wax-based foundations do not absorb into the pores. So you don't have to worry about clogging pores. You don't have to worry about this causing breakout. So that's a huge advantage of using a wax-based foundation. It makes an incredible difference, and your breakouts will be minimal. This is great for all skin types. Oily skin can use this. Dry skin can use this. Every single person can use this. And we've got a massive color range too for all skin tones, especially our women of color. We just had a whole line. I think we launched 6 foundation shades specifically for women of color, and they are beautiful. So we've got a great variety. So I don't typically take this long. I'm only doing this to show you guys. But now you can see, I mean, I started out white. I'm still white. So what we want to do is we want to go back in and we want to add some dimension and we want to add some color. So you can see such a difference that made. The coverage is incredible. I just love this stuff. And also, you're going to want to give it probably about 10 to 15 minutes after you've applied it. You might look at it and think, oh, this kind of looks thick, and give it time. Give it 15 minutes to set in the morning after you've powdered it, after you've set it with your setting spray. And what you'll notice is throughout the day, it's dewy, it looks like beautiful skin, and it stays flawless. It is honestly the most phenomenal foundation. I just love this stuff. I'm so happy with it. Okay, so now you can see, I'm not even gonna go in with concealer. We have a concealer also in the same consistency. It is beautiful. It's another one that you're going to want to put on your hand to warm before applying. But again, you're getting phenomenal. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you guys. I'm here. I'll just show you guys the concealer. I could use a little touch up. Let me just clean it first. Gross. Okay. So I'm going to take my concealer and I'm going to scrape out a tiny, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to put it on my hand so you can see it. Just a tiny, tiny amount, because a little bit of this goes so far. So I'm just going to mix that with my concealer brush. I like to come up here and I like to do a little bit of highlight. I like to bring it down my nose. I like to do it a little bit in my Cupid's bow, a lot in my chin, and then of course under eye. And then I'm going to do it on this side too. And you guys always want to make sure that you get that inner corner. That's sometimes where our darkness comes from, is in this inner corner. So always make sure you're taking your concealer in there, because you'll notice a huge difference when you do. And then we just bring it down and just kind of feather it out. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, even more ghostly, but this is good. I'm glad I did this because I want to show you guys how the importance of bringing color back into your skin with using this product. So I've got our 10 Years Younger finishing spray, and I am actually just going to spray my blender full. I like to use the setting spray on this, especially under my eyes, because I do have those fine lines and those expression lines under my eyes. when I smile. So a lot of times makeup can get kind of crepey and you're going to notice that it builds up in your fine lines. By using a setting spray to set it, you're going to notice a huge, huge difference of it no longer sort of grabbing into the creases of your eyes, which is huge because we don't want to stop smiling just because we don't want concealer crease. Oh, you guys, look at that. I guess I did need concealer after all. Makes such an incredible difference. I can't believe the difference. See that? Whew. I am so in love with these products, you guys. And these are, these are pro products. These work the way they say they will. And that's what is so amazing about them. Okay, look at that. So blank slate, literally we have a blank slate. I'm just going to look in here and make sure you can take your finger too because it warms and just blend that out a little bit. I always like to make sure it's blended just to help to prevent any creasing from under the eye. Perfect. Now I like to go in with my bronzer and do a little bit of contour before I set it with the setting powder, only because this is, I find it grabs to the foundation a little bit better. So I get a little bit more pull, bit more pigment. So this is where we're going to put dimension back into the skin. And warm this back up. Just because you're fair like me, if you struggle, you don't have to, you always want to color match your foundation to your true color, but you can work with bronzer and you can work with blush to bring that color up, to add depth, to add warmth, to give you that sort of sun-kissed look, even though we're pale. And then I'm going to do a little bit under my chin for a little bit of contour. And then I just like to go up into here, straight up under my jaw or under my cheekbone, and then just circular motions up into the hairline and across the forehead. But you can see how this is sort of bringing me back to life already. That's exactly what we want. So much better. And I just use, sort of a medium-sized brush to apply this. I'm not one that typically contours my face. I like sort of an all-over sun-kissed look, so I prefer to warm it. So now what I do is I take a little bit bigger brush, our number 1. This one's awesome, kind of a dome blender. And then I'm going to use our setting powder. Now I'm going to show you this setting powder is incredible. It actually honestly works like a filter. It is so beautiful, but I'm going to blend this side out first just so you guys can see how natural it comes together. But do you see that? How it's just giving me definition and warmth, but doesn't look super, caked on. That's what we want. We just want to kind of blend that out and soften it all, but with keeping the dimension. And then we're going to go onto this side and we'll just blend this side out. I love going in with the setting powder afterwards just to blend everything together. I just find that it works so, I don't know, it just smooths everything. I've played a lot of different ways and I just find that this way just works better. But that's a personal preference. There's no rules. So now do you see how I've got more definition in my skin? That's exactly what we want. I can't walk around that pale. Just not possible. And then I take a little bit underneath the eyes just to set under the eyes to help prevent from that creasing. Perfect. There, you can see my skin is so much warmer now. Way more definition. And then I am going to grab blush. You must have blush, especially when you're as fair as I am. So I'm actually going to use this peachy, it's called peachy actually, I love peaches and cream tone skin. It's just, I don't know. I've always loved it. Even though I pull sort of naturally more pink, I like how the peachy tones look on my skin compared to pink. So do you see how that's changing and that's adding even more definition? It makes such an amazing difference. And then I actually take my blender full afterwards and I just sort of blend around because I like to soften out those harsh lines. I always like my blush to just kind of look like I've been outside and it's that cooling effect where my cheeks have just kind of been kissed by the cool. But do you see the difference that that makes? You guys, this foundation, ridiculous. It is so amazing. I just love working with this stuff. I absolutely love it. So that is my everyday sort of routine. That is incredible coverage. It is absolutely amazing. Every time I use it, I'm still blown away. And every time I use it on clients, I'm just, you know, it's just incredible how effective it is and how much coverage you get from it. And you just don't feel cakey. Your skin feels incredible. So I am going to just quickly grab one of my favorite lip glosses. This one's actually from my makeup vanity. So I am going to get a disposable wand. I'm going to put on a little bit of my all-time favorite lip gloss, which is Peace. I absolutely love this one. I'm just going to get a little bit more. It is such a great peachy tone. Our glosses are actually quite pigmented, which is really nice, and they're not sticky, which is even better. I'm going to take an after picture too to show you guys, just so you can see it. Okay, so I've set it. I like to just give it a little bit of a minute there. I have pretty much set it with my powder. I'm just going to do one more quick one over top, just to be sure. Perfect. And now I am going to take our 10 Years Younger finishing spray. And I'm just going to spray, and I'm going to set it with this. Again, smells amazing. So good. And then you're just going to let that dry. It's so misted that it doesn't really leave much on your skin. But that, my friends, is the finished look of our perfect foundation. And then, of course, I added some bronzer and some blush and our setting powder and setting sprays. So if you guys have any questions, I am here to help. If you would like help with color matching, please reach out. And yeah, check it out. It's totally amazing. Thank you guys so much. Have an awesome day. See you soon.